You're listening to She's the Business podcast.
So with today's episode, how to think like a marketer so that you can attract the right people into your business. You can attract clients really easily without it actually feeling like you're really doing any marketing. That is actually what it feels like when you have nailed your marketing, when it is just something that happens organically. And that's why we need to understand and adapt and learn to think with a marketing brain. This is honestly the most essential part of running any business. It doesn't matter whether you have marketing experience, if you don't, but if you're avoiding adopting this mentality of thinking like a marketer, then you're really doing yourself a disservice in your goal to have a successful business. Because as you know, clients are the lifeblood. They literally are what creates a business, makes it not a hobby. You need clients. You need them coming in. The money that they bring in is like the fuel for the engine of your business. So without that fuel, your business doesn't go. And of course, that's what we all want, right? We want a successful business.
Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Osborne, and over the last 25 years in marketing and business, I've helped many brands to launch, scale, and grow, with some of them becoming multi-billion-dollar companies. I'm here to inspire you to get out of your own way and create a profitable, fulfilling business while living the lifestyle you really desire, without all the hustle. So I bring you She's the Business podcast, a unique blend of strategies, tactics, mindset, health, and spirituality, literally everything you need to be the successful leader of your dream business. Made by women, for women, this is your weekly dose of motivation and inspiration.
Now, before I get into how to think like a marketer, I've got 6 kind of core principles I'm going to run through with you today that are universal principles of marketing, shall we say. So once you know what these are, you can use them anytime in your business. You can use them to help you shift into that right place and help you to really be approaching your marketing, your communications, everything that you're doing in your business, because let's face it, everything is marketing. You can use these principles to help you succeed. But before I get into it, I just want to address what I would call the elephant in the room. And that is that you might be sitting here right now thinking, but I don't want to think like a marketer. I don't like marketers. I've put a label on it and it's something icky, yucky. That's not me. I'm not a marketer. So if that's you, then let's just take a moment to have a think about it. You're not alone. I've heard this before and I see it actually. I see it out on the internet, on the social media, people talking in this really negative way about marketing. And so it's interesting because when you look at it, it seems to me a lot like the sort of meaning that someone's attached to the word marketing. So they've attached a negative connotation to marketing, which could be in the same way that we attach some negative meaning to sales or selling, right? And when you look at that reason why we've attached a sort of icky or yucky connotation meaning to selling, it's probably because we had an unpleasant experience at some point in our lives with a salesperson being overtly selly. You walk into, I know it's a cliche, but it literally is real life. And that's why we all know it. Any kind of car sales yard, right? And someone is on you like glue and they're trying to figure out what it is that you want so that they can show you something that they think you're going to buy. And that feeling that we get of like this pressure and all of this stuff, and we just don't like it. And therefore we attach this meaning to selling as like, well, if you're selling, then you're doing what that person did. Well, that's not really the case, is it? Because we buy things all the time. And I'm pretty sure the last time you bought something, you didn't have someone on your back trying to convince you to buy it. It was something you were quite happy to buy. So it's not always like that. Yet we attach this meaning to the thing of selling, and it turns it into this always has to be sleazy and icky and coercive. And I think that this similar thing has happened to marketing over the years, especially in recent months where there seems to have been some kind of MLM style business that's attached to digital marketing. There seem to be all sorts of digital marketers popping up everywhere and in people's DMs and wanting to sell you digital marketing. And let's not taint what marketing is. Marketing is just a word. It doesn't have a connotation or a meaning to it. And it doesn't mean that you're promo-y. It doesn't mean that you're flashy. It doesn't mean that there's anything out of integrity. I think that's a massive one. People seem to attach you're a marketer, or there are people who are marketers, and therefore there's this lack of integrity. Like, where did that even come from? That's come from someone's personal experience with something that they labeled as marketing and that they felt was out of integrity. Does that mean all marketing is lacking integrity? Well, no, of course it doesn't. Does it mean that all people who are marketers lack integrity? No, of course it doesn't, right? Just because we've had one negative experience somewhere in life, and yes, there are going to be people like that who exist. Yes, there is a slimy salesperson. Yes, there is a marketer who lacks integrity. That doesn't mean that you lack integrity if you're doing marketing. That doesn't mean that you are slimy if you're doing selling, because guess what? You're you. And if you're not slimy to begin with, and if you don't lack integrity, then it doesn't matter what you're doing. You're not going to have those things attached to you, right? It doesn't turn you into someone new to suddenly decide, I'm going to learn how to be a better marketer. Now, let's define marketing first and foremost. I used to laugh back in the days when I was head of marketing, when I was a marketing manager, and all of the different levels that I've been ever since I started back in 1997. So many businesses that I worked in, people would think, oh, you're marketing. That means you stick logos on things. There was, I thought, a huge gaping void of understanding of what marketing actually was. No one really understood it. They understood what selling was. They're like, they're the people who sell things. I'm like, yeah. And if marketing wasn't here, the people doing the selling would be having a really hard time of it. It's so hard to come straight in at the end of a customer journey, which literally is the point of sale, to come in fresh there and be trying to help somebody make a decision and make that sale when there's been no marketing happening. Like, it is almost impossible. It does happen. Yes, that's what your cold DMers are trying to do. They're trying to make a sale without doing any marketing. And how often does it work? It's really, 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 really low converting. So the job of marketing is actually what we would call the experience that someone is having with you from the very first touch point, their entire customer journey. So from the time that they're a stranger, never ever heard or seen of you, to that initial exposure, to all of the little touch points that they have, whether they're consuming your content, whether they're connected with you on socials, whether they've met you in person, it doesn't really matter what they are. There could be loads and loads of them, to the point that they become a client. And even after that, marketing actually does not stop. Everything that you're doing in your business is marketing. Even if you have a product business, the experience of your product with that person is still marketing, because if they have a good experience with it, they're likely to become an advocate of it. They're likely to talk about it with other people and recommend it. And therefore you have suddenly a team of marketers out there in the world helping you to market your product because they've had that great experience. So if we can just all agree everything that you're doing is marketing, whether or not you believe it, every email you send, every touch point a person has with you is marketing. And when you lay that filter on, put that filter in, you can really start to see how they all add up. Tiny, tiny touch points add up to the sum of the whole. And I think this is probably why a lot of people find it difficult to grasp the concept of marketing, because marketing is not social media. It is not brand. It is not all of these different things that people might think of marketing as. It's not a logo, for example. It's everything. It is all of your communication. It is all your verbal, written, visual, even non-verbal, right? Everything they feel, everything they touch, everything that they see to do with you is marketing. So what is that experience that we're giving across here? Now that you're thinking about it in that different light, and hopefully we've removed that attachment of marketing being something or meaning something that we've gained at some point in our life, and you can start to look around and see how you already, by the way, you already are doing marketing, even if you don't know that you are, because if your business is live, if it's out in the world somewhere with some form of, even if it's a website, a social page, whatever it is that you've done, even if it's just referral based, there is still marketing. That is marketing that you're doing. So you're doing it already, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, or think that you are one or not. Being a marketer isn't like a hat or an identity you have to adopt. It's actually more, you are you. You always will be you. You are the CEO of your business. You're the founder. You're whatever it is, title that you've given yourself. And you have a marketing mindset. So you don't have to adopt a new identity. You don't have to be a marketer. You actually just need to be able to think in a marketing mindset in order to have this benefit over all of these other businesses out there who are not thinking in this way. So let's get into what are the 6 universal principles of marketing that apply to you every day and no matter what it is that you're selling. So the first one is that people buy something they already want. And I know this sounds like, okay, well, that's really simple. Yeah, but all the time people are trying to convince people to buy something that they don't want because you see, well, this is going to help you with that problem. I can see that you've got a problem and this is going to help you. And then you go around this whole massive campaign to convince people that they need it. Like, oh, okay, good luck. You can try. But as you would know, and you can probably think of examples, is there somebody out there that you can see has a big problem? They're doing something that's not helping them, and they are unwilling to do the thing that will help them, even though it's been presented in front of them. Yeah, all the time. You can think about it. There are people who know they're eating the wrong things. They refuse to go and join a gym or to go to a dietitian and learn how to eat better. Like, people are doing this all the time. And think about it in a different light. So I might say to you, hey, I can teach you how to roller skate. You know, here's a really awesome course on roller skating. And by the end of it, you're going to be amazing at roller skating. You might look at me and go, yeah, but I don't care. I don't actually want to roller skate. That's not something that I am interested in at all. There's zero interest. I don't want it. And I'm like, but it's only $9.95. It's only, it's so cheap. And I'm going to throw in a bonus and I'm going to throw in this. I'm like, I still don't want it. Even if it was free, I actually don't want to learn how to roller skate. That's not something I'm interested in, right? No desire. If you don't already want it, it doesn't matter how good a job you're doing of promoting it, how good a job you're doing of showcasing features and benefits and all of these things that you might be doing. If they don't want it, they're not buying it. That is the principle. It is as simple as that. So who are you speaking to with your marketing? Well, you're speaking to the people who already want the thing that you're offering. That will change your life. It's the people who already want it. Okay, that is who you are speaking to. That is who your buyer is. Yes, there may be some people who end up in that bucket because they don't currently want it. Maybe they learn some things and then they become someone who already wants it. But until they want it, they are not the person who's buying. And if you're going to continue to try to convince all of these people that you think should buy it, well, good luck. You're going to end up on the marketing treadmill forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. And people will not be buying because they don't want it. So good luck if you attempt to do that. But let's just focus in right now. Maybe you haven't thought about it this way before. Write it down. Who already wants it? Who already wants blank the thing that I offer? And by the thing I offer, it's not my course, my program. It's like, what does the course do for them? What is it that they want gain out of it? What is it they gain from your service? Not they already want a 3-month program. No one wants a 3-month program. No one wants a course. They want what it's going to give them. Okay. So what is it? Who is it that already wants what you offer? Principle 1. Principle 2. Fit, as in the relevance, is more important than price. Okay. So most people focus on price. That is always the first thing, number one thing that anyone will say. The reason why they're not going to buy is because of the price. It's also the reason that you're going to think 99% of the time is the reason why people didn't buy. Oh, the price wasn't right. Otherwise they would have bought it. No, actually, incorrect. And I love this one. And I love proving people wrong on this because it is so not that at all. If you have done a good job of showing why yours is the best fit and you're actually speaking to the right person in the first place, as in you've done your job on identifying who is the right fit for you and what you're offering is exactly made for them. So we're not out there with something broad and generic and trying to be something for everyone. When you are relevant, when it is the best fit, then price is far, far, far down the scale. Of course, it comes into it. If it's an outrageous price, yes, then your person may not be able to afford it. But if you've done your job correctly and you know who the ideal client is, then obviously you've priced it to be aligned to them in the first place. So it's not about the price. The price isn't the thing that gets them over the line. It's like, is this actually what I need? Is this the thing that's going to get me what I need in the shortest amount of time? Is it most well suited to my business? We don't want to work hard. We don't want to do extra things, extra steps, take longer. Nobody wants any of that. So we want the best suited thing for us. And people these days are really good at seeing why it's not right for them, right? It's like, yeah, I can see how that's sort of a fit, but it's not specific enough for me, or that bit's not me, or that's not me. And like, we automatically, our brains look for the reasons why it's not a great fit for us. So they're seeing that first and foremost. And that's why the relevance, making sure that what you're offering is really well aligned to your ideal client, is a principle that you need to live by. The relevance, communicating it, making sure that they are on the same page as you is so important. The next principle is about the way that you're communicating your offerings, and outcomes are more important than inclusions. I think this is a big one here, because I see that most people, because we've been taught it, like literally it's how I was taught marketing when I did my degree, was to focus on like features and benefits. And here are the features, here are the things that are in it, and here's why we need them. But it's a lot more than that. No one's really buying what you're offering based on a list of features. That is something that's nice to have. Okay, here are the features, and as long as they are not against any of them, then that's great. Think about the last thing that you bought where there was a list of features. Did you go through each one, going, wow, yes, okay, I really need that or that? There was likely to be one or two that you were looking for, and as long as it had that, you were like, great. The rest of the features, okay, whatever, like they're included, it doesn't really matter. It's not those that you were buying it for, it's the outcome. It was the thing that it's going to do for you. And like it was in principle number 2, it was the right fit for you, right? It was the thing that was best suited for your needs, for the outcome that you're looking for. So think outcomes, not inclusions. That is principle number 3. Principle number 4 is, I'm going to start talking, maybe this is going to sound a little bit woo-woo, but I'm going to start off without the woo and then add it in. And this is, the more you repel, the easier it is to attract. So how this works is, essentially, you've heard probably the saying, when you're marketing to everybody, you're selling to nobody. And that is really, really true. What this means is, when we have nothing that we're repelling, no one we're repelling at all, it's actually really hard to attract anyone, because according to the other principles, it's not relevant. It's not super relevant. They're not feeling like this is the best fit for them. And there is just a lack of that energetic pull. Now we can align this with the law of attraction. And what law of attraction really means is not like attracts like, which is part of it, yes, but it's actually like your vibe attracts the things, and it's not what you want. It's not just saying, I want that, therefore I'm getting it. No, it is the energetic space that you put yourself in. And how this is relevant to attracting or repelling your ideal client is that once you know who it is that you don't want, and you are actively in a place where you know very firmly who you do want, it is much easier for you to communicate with them. It's much easier for everything that you say to be landing with them, because you're far more specific in what you're saying. And that is automatically helping to repel some away and helping to draw in and have those people who are the right fit for you really lean in, because you're speaking so directly to them. They can't help but feel it. So it is, yes, your vibe, and it is that energetic confidence of putting yourself in this place where you're saying, I am here for these people, and it's not for these other people. right? As soon as you start putting that it's not for, and whether you do this externally, internally, but as long as you are abundantly clear who it is not for, and you are not putting out any sort of vibe to those people at all, then it's making your attraction pull stronger for the ones who it is for, because you've got more specific. The more specific you are, the better fit you are for the ones who you're wanting to attract. So you can see how these principles actually are quite aligned. They're very connected, and it makes an enormous difference. I had a client who last year, she kind of thought she'd done her niching. She thought she'd identified her ideal client, but it was still so broad, she didn't realize that it was really the trouble that she was having, because she was doing all of this activity to market, thinking, well, I'm doing the things, I'm listening to the experts, I'm out there, I'm taking all this action. She was doing marketing, but she wasn't attracting people in, and it got so frustrating because she could literally see them all there thinking, well, why aren't they coming? There's so many different people I could help, and I can help them with all these things. And that's exactly why they're not coming, because there's so many different people she could help, because you can help them with all of these things, that none of it felt like it was relevant and the best fit. And they were not drawing in. So the moment this year that she came back, she's like, well, I felt like I'd already done niching. I'd already, created an offer. I'm like, that's where we're starting, because it's not working. We've got to go back to step one, which is the step one in Business Jam. Where we start is with defining not just a niche, but what I call your expert zone. And starting there, she actually went levels deeper than she had been before. Now she says, and leaves me messages almost a few times a week at least, saying, I now see that I was so unclear before. And even though I thought I'd done it and I felt like it was frustrating to come back and do it again, she's like, oh, the difference is amazing. She now attends events and people understand exactly what she does straight away. They walk up to her. They know what it is that she does. She's explaining it to people and they're leaning in. They're saying, tell me more. They're reaching out to her. She's suddenly very clearly got a place. She's created a space. People know what it is that she does. And she says, that's wonderful. But the best thing is she's creating content, knowing straight away what it is to say. And it's so easy to come up with content and to have something to say, because she knows exactly what she needs to say to the right person. Now, that is an amazing difference, right? To have felt like I'm doing all of this activity and nothing is happening. There's just no, not that there's no engagement, but she's like, when is this going to work? And then now going, oh, okay. I hadn't started off, wasn't speaking to them on the level that they needed to be spoken to. And now she is. So isn't that amazing? So that is about your principle of attraction. And in order to attract, you must be repelling. The next principle number 5, is that everything is nothing. So this is really similar to, when you're trying to sell to everyone, you're selling to no one. Well, when you're saying that you do everything, that's almost equating to saying that you're doing nothing, because nobody is out there looking for everything, right? You're looking for something because you've got a specific problem in mind that you need to solve. It might be like, I need help with my branding, my brand style, or my brand voice, or my personal branding, or my photos. You more than likely have a specific thing in mind. And no one's out there thinking, I just need general help with everything in my business and life. But yet there are people out there saying, I will coach you on anything to do with your business or life that you need help with. And so you're going, well, what does that even mean? I'm not sure. Do I need that? I don't know. I don't know what everything is. So everything is nothing. It's just nothing. Get specific. It doesn't matter that, yes, you can help them with what you think is everything. That doesn't matter, because it's not communicating anything to the other person. We need to get clear and get so specific that there is nothing in your language that is saying everything. You get everything. Well, blah, that means nothing. Anytime you're saying everything, replace it with nothing and go back and think of what is a better word I can use, because that will change everything for you. That will change your marketing. It will go from being vague and bland and really conceptual, that no one's really able to imagine anything of what it is that you're saying, to it being specific. So another example is a client of mine who coaches parents through toddler tantrums. Now, she could say, I've got everything to help you be a better parent. Or she could say, I've got 5 amazing proven tactics that will help you to navigate your toddler's tantrum, help to remove that emotional outburst, and have a connection that helps your toddler to move forward and you to parent with compassion and kindness, whatever it is. She straight away, even just the first few words I said there, 5 specific tactics, you suddenly have got something tangible to attach your thought to. You've got a connection point. Okay, great. I'm getting 5 things. It's not this like everything. I can help you with everything, or I've got everything you need. Well, I don't even know what everything is, right? So you can see how everything is nothing. And as soon as we replace it with something specific and tangible, then your marketing changes. Your ideal client is suddenly going to be leaning in and thinking, this is what I need. The final one is that objections are actually clues that you can be using to understand what are the barriers currently stopping the right person from signing up, even though it's something that they want. Now, I think there's a commonly held premise that objections mean it's not right for them. No. But usually when this is the right fit for the right person, it's been designed for them, they're thinking this is something I want, but they've just got a but. They've got something holding them back. It's like, I just have toddlers on the brain, like those harnesses you put on a toddler with the strap for the ones that like run away. That is what's happening to your client right now. They're wanting to move forward, but there's a harness on and there's something holding the strap and holding them back. And if you're not uncovering what's behind these objections that they have, whatever it is that they're saying, it's often time, don't have time, it's not the right time, the money, they might say that. It's usually there's something hidden behind this, and it's your job to figure out what it is that is actually holding them back so that you can address it. The objections are clues that you've left something unaddressed in what you've presented so far when you're presenting your offering. So dig them out. That is your, what shall I call it? That's your task for today. Go in and figure out, what do people often say why they don't sign up or why it's not right for them, and write them down, and then go and discover why you think that might be. What could be hidden behind this? And that's when you'll suddenly find, okay, now I'm able to remove these barriers. Now people are able to sign up because it is what they want. It is what they needed. They just had a concern that wasn't being met. So I hope you found this episode really useful today. They are the 6 principles. I could probably come up with a whole lot more, but I felt like 6 was a good number to start with today. So stay tuned for another episode on these because there are just so many. And I think a lot of them just come so naturally to me that I don't even realize that they are principles. So give me a few days to think up what other ones are they that I operate by, and I'll share them with you in a future episode coming up soon. Now, before I leave off today, I want to invite you to a live masterclass I'm running on the 14th of August. This is a live version of my really popular online class called The Magnetic Formula, 5 Keys to Premium Paying Clients. And this is essentially like I took a 3-day long live training and condensed it down into one class. So we're going quickly through it. I'm going to show you what it is that you need in your business in order to be attracting premium paying clients, so that you're not doing marketing just for people to come in and want freebies or want discounts and not be buying the things that are going to make you profitable. So yes, this is what's going to help make you more profitable. It's going to attract the right clients in and essentially be able to allow you to have a business that ticks the box of flexibility with your lifestyle, ticks the box of freedom because you're not needing to work those hours. Ideally, we're looking to be working 20 hours a week or even less. Whatever that is for you, this is what your business should be designed to do, and doing it now, not some point in the future. So join me for that. You can head to my website. I've dropped the link in the notes here below, but it is jessicaosborne.com/TMF live. TMF meaning the magnetic formula. So TMF live. grab yourself a seat. It's on the 14th of August. I'm really looking forward to it. When you turn up live, you get the opportunity to have some discussion with me. Yes, there is going to be live coaching. I'll definitely be answering your questions and helping you through these things. So you absolutely benefit from showing up live to the session. And I can't wait. This is what I love doing. Haven't taught this live for probably about 2 years now. I haven't done this as a live class. So really looking forward to it and hope to see you there.